Hey everybody, my name is Spencer, and joining me with this video is my lovely wife, Lara.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about escape room puzzles. Puzzles that have an escape room element to them.
Yes, in varying forms.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, and that's why we're doing the videos, because there's several you can choose from. If you're interested, you can go buy them, but there are several different ones. They're made different ways. They have different quirks to them. And so that's why we're doing this video, to tell you, and that way you can make a decision for yourself, which one you think you'll enjoy most.
Cool. So first off, how did we even find these things?
Well, you found them.
I found them. So the mysteries of internet algorithms, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how this even happened. I don't get it. It's a mystery. Anyway, on my YouTube account on my phone, just scrolling, like the very first thing that pops up is like suggested videos that you should check out. You might not necessarily subscribe to those users, but we think you'd like this video. Up pops this account for Karen Puzzles. This lady that's what she does. She assembles jigsaw puzzles like all the time. And so that was interesting, but what caught my eye was that the title of the video was about escape puzzles from Ravensburger, whatever you like to call it. And so that interested me because we knew there were in the works some different kinds of like escape puzzles. And so I went ahead and clicked on the video and watched it, and it caught my interest. And so from there, I talked to Spencer about it. I was like, we should try these out. And that is what led us down the rabbit hole of escape puzzles.
Yeah, and if you know anything about us, you know that we love escape room type stuff. We love escape rooms, we love tabletop escape rooms. And I grew up doing puzzles. Laura, not so much.
No, we didn't do jigsaw puzzles in my house, so this was a new experience for me. So
yeah, combining those things, the intrigue of discovering something new, we were like, we're going to do this. And boy, did we. We got into it.
We got into it. We went hard.
Yeah, so we started with, like she said, the Ravensburger puzzles.
Escape puzzles.
Ravensburger Escape Puzzles. And they have several. I think they've got 5 or 6 of them. We haven't played all of them.
Is this where you want me to hold it up now?
Yeah.
Okay. Ta-da! Here's our favorite one. It's called The Witch's Kitchen. In fact, we have a video up on the channel of me doing this puzzle with Spencer's help.
Yeah.
But this is what the box looks like. These were available. We found them at Target. You can also find them online.
Yeah, it just depends on availability. We found them at Target, Barnes & Noble,
yes,
Amazon.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, how many different ones did you say there are?
I mean, there have to be at least 6.
And we've done...
Like 4 or 5.
I think we've done 5.
Okay.
Yeah. We did a unicorn one, a wolf one, this one... Vampire and the submarine.
So there's one that's like in a basement that we haven't done.
Yeah, we did. Oh, no, we did the Stargazer one too.
Oh, yeah. So then there are a lot.
We've done, there's more than that.
Okay.
So it's very neat. So like it says up here, on this side, it's a 759 piece puzzle. Again, this was a very new concept to me of doing this kind of puzzle. So Spencer you were a little rusty, but you were able to walk me through like ways to do this.
Yeah.
But then I kind of figured out my own things of like grouping things together by like similar colors or maybe even after we get down to a point of like, now we just can't figure out where these fit, I start looking at like how the piece is cut and figuring out how that goes into the puzzle. But from there, there are different little logic puzzles hidden in the picture. So this picture on the cover does not match the picture that you assemble in the puzzle.
It's very close, but there are some key differences.
Right, yeah. So it can give you an idea of like what you should be aiming for. Like if you see this little pink thing here, okay, I need to aim for it to be down here in the bottom center of the picture. But it is different than how it appears in this picture. But yeah, so what did you think of these?
So these are the most, I think, if you're looking at strictly the escape room style puzzles, this is definitely the most difficult.
It's most difficult, but it's also the most like jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, if you're leaning more towards jigsaw puzzles, you want to put a puzzle together, but that just happens to have escape room style stuff, go for this. But I think the most challenging thing about these is you put it together and you've got all this mysterious writing and symbols and...
Right, those logic puzzles I talked about.
And you don't really know where to start.
And what goes together.
What goes with what?
It takes a lot of trial and error.
There's this thing at the beginning that states the problem of what's happening.
Just a prompt to let you know what the story is behind the picture.
Like this one, you eat some shrooms, and you have to find the cure in the witch's kitchen. But other than that, it doesn't say like start here or maybe this. It's not like one puzzle leads to another. It's just all kind of there, and so that's the difficulty is putting together the different clues.
However, fret not. There is a little booklet inside with like a QR code, or it actually even has the website you can just type out if you can't figure out QR codes that leads you to a website that will step by step start leading you toward, okay, now this little logic puzzle, you need this element and this element.
Right.
Now, how do those go together? And it almost does how the exit puzzles do of like first hint, second hint, or even, just that's just how they lead you through that. So don't worry about putting a puzzle together and being totally lost and having to figure it out on your own. There is help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the first thing you do when you go there is it shows you what the new puzzle looks like.
Yeah, what the picture looks like.
So,
if you're stuck trying to figure out even what the picture should look like, you can go there and it'll show you the completed picture. Which on our first one, since it was our first time, and we picked a fairly difficult picture, I peeked at that a couple times. I will say just real quick, just the mechanism of how it works is whenever you solve a puzzle, like a escape room style puzzle, there are numbers on the outer edges of the puzzle. And whatever the solution is to the problem, you find the piece that number is. Yes.
And there are several of them.
And you remove it from the frame, and then those are going to be assembled together to create the solution.
Solution to whatever's going on in the puzzle.
Yeah.
So it's pretty clever.
It is very clever.
But again, you've got to find the right numbers. And so.
And this is recommended for like ages 12 and up.
Yeah. And they have various difficulties, like most things. What is this? 2 out of 5. So, yeah. That is the escape puzzle from Ravensburger.
Yes. Well, let's move on to Escape Room, the game.
Okay. Well, Escape Room, the game, Puzzle Adventures.
Exactly. So Escape Room, the game, you've seen those before at major retailers or whatnot. They've got a little decoder box and you've got plastic keys that you're going to insert to try to progress through these packets that they include to solve your room. So now...
This is brand new.
Drum roll.
We saw this one. What?
Yes. So here's... Oh, okay. I'm trying not to give you a glare there. So Escape Room, the game, Puzzle Adventures is so creative, but it's still very familiar Escape Room, the game.
Yeah.
So you just start out... It starts you with one little compartment.
In the box, there are 6 compartments. You're not supposed to open any of them, except for one.
It tells you which one to start with. You open that, it gives you another story prompt, and you open that bag and start assembling the puzzle.
Yeah.
And from there, I feel like this is where it's a little bit simpler to figure out what goes where. And I feel like it was really only... Well, no, that's not true. I was about to say there's only one logic puzzle per room, but that's not true. You are progressing through rooms. Or at least in this one you are. So there were several puzzles to complete instead of just one giant one, like the way Ravensburger works. This is tiny little puzzles that actually kind of assembled together, which was really neat.
Yeah, each box contains an individual puzzle, which you'll put together, you'll add on to a previous one to make a final puzzle. And like you said, there are puzzles in them, but there are prompts. Like, it does make sense. You know what goes with what. And then the problem just becomes of actually solving the puzzle. So if you're definitely leaning more towards the escape room side of things, you like that more than the actual puzzle, this would be your go-to.
This will give you that flavor. Plus, it still keeps that little key idea that they use where you've got this wheel. It's so neat. You've got this wheel and it tells you again like shapes or numbers or letters, much like the keys that you put in the decoder box that you're going to put on the wheel, and they'll tell you which way to turn it, and it matches up a symbol and a color and a shape. And you see if that matches any of the next boxes that are available to you, and that will tell you which one to open next and start completing that puzzle.
Yeah.
You can time this one.
Yes, that's true.
We did not, just because we wanted to take it easy on ourselves.
Yeah.
In fact, we divided this one up over 2 nights.
That's right. There are very clear stopping points if you wanted to do that.
Right, yeah, which is really cool and relaxed, because that's what a lot of people associate with a puzzle, right? With the jigsaw puzzle thing, that's how you kind of related it to me.
Just walk around, put a couple pieces in, and then walk by.
It just lays out on the table, and then people just walk by and just kind of put in a couple things. The fact that you can just leave this laying out, do a couple, walk away, and then come back later and do another one. It's nice. Yeah. I enjoyed this one, but I'll talk more about that later.
Okay.
All right, so then I think that's everything for this, right?
Yeah, for that one, I would say so.
Okay,
There's
cool.
only one of these out right now. This is 2 out of 5 difficulty as well. And I would say that I think it's a great difficulty.
I don't see on here. Oh, yeah, 2 out of 5, but I'm not seeing anything about, like, age range on this.
It's probably on the box back.
Yes.
Over there. It's fine.
But with that, I think, again, maybe 12 is fine. You might be able to go down to 10. The logic puzzles aren't too difficult.
There is murder in this one, so if that's an issue...
There are dead bodies laying around. Think about that, Lara. But, I mean, it is... Okay. We'll leave that up to your discretion.
Kids know about murder if it's their squish a bug, right?
Okay, let's move on.
Just trying to make conversation. Next is Exit the Game with Puzzles. This is what our interest started with from the beginning. Like, this is why we were excited about...
Maybe that's what started the algorithm. My phone heard me talking about these.
Perhaps.
Because we knew these were coming.
Yeah, these are brand new, just released. I don't know if they're in stores yet, actually, as of the publishing of this video. But we love Exit. We did go find our all Exits ranked that have been out, at least at the time of that publishing. There were 17, I think, that we ranked separately.
I think we even hinted in that video, hey, these are coming next.
Yeah, we might have. But so we're huge Exit fans. And we're pretty critical of them because we've played all of them and we've got opinions. So I was very curious to see how these were going to work. And so actually, these are similar-ish to the Escape Room, the game.
Yes.
Because there are 4 puzzles in each of these. And the same kind of deal where you'll put one together and then there will be several escape room puzzles in each puzzle. But they don't come together. They're 4 separate puzzles.
Right. Well, yes. Well, it's 3, right? Because you're doing the decoder wheel still that Exit uses. Well, 4 puzzles. I mean, inside the puzzle, you're getting 3 solutions to put in your decoder wheel, which now will give you 3 different symbols. And there are multiple booklets that come in this. And so then you want that to correspond with one of the booklets. And that's going to lead you to the next part of the story, which will then tell you the next puzzle to complete. So this isn't like the hidden puzzles like what it was in the Escape Room, the game box. This is just, now look for the puzzles with like the striped backs or the backs with diamonds on them, something like that. So those are just out in the open in the box, and you know they're coming. But it's more about the booklets with this one.
That was very different. But
still, again, very familiar if you're familiar with the Exit the Game system.
Well, yeah, that was what I was going to say. Is instead of card clues. You have a deck, or you have those little booklets.
Yes.
Well, you have the booklets that help you progress through the game,
but
through the story.
The
rule book has the hints on it instead of, which I appreciated that because you don't have all these cards laid out everywhere. That may have been why they did it.
I kind of like that, and the way they made it work was each page, like you fold it in half, so you're only seeing the first hint, and then you can turn it over to see the second hint, and you have to actually open it up to see the solution. Although I can just go, stop reading right here, don't look at the other page. So we didn't actually do the folding the page thing, but I did notice that.
Right. And you did mention that this is like it is Exit the Game with puzzles.
Instead of looking through the booklet and looking at those pictures, you're assembling the pictures. Essentially, that's the main difference.
And these, you absolutely get no reference point for when you're putting the puzzle together. It's completely blank. There's no picture to match.
Which was the same in Escape Room, the game.
And it was fine because these are puzzles that are maybe about
very small,
this big. And so you put those together, and then I don't know where I was going with that.
You know what lock you're supposed to you know what lock you're trying to open. The locks are colored, and the booklet that you're reading from has told you, now you notice this lock. and you can look around the lock for context clues of what you need to be looking for in the picture that you've assembled in order to open that lock.
Yeah.
And so those are the things you're going to be figuring out and then putting into your decoder wheel. And then you look for the next booklet and you open it and it says, you opened the red lock, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and so with these, these also, they say to time them. We timed one of them, right?
I don't even remember.
I think we timed this one.
We did this one over 2 nights. We did this one in one sitting.
Oh, okay, then we didn't time it.
We didn't time this one because we knew this one was much more difficult than this one.
We timed, I know what we did. We timed one, and then we stopped it, and then I added to the time.
That's what it was. Yeah, you just kept up.
Yeah, I think out of 10 stars, we got maybe 6 on this one. But,
which isn't too bad.
And I'll say that...
I'm proud of it.
So this was an easier one, and, you know, for the most part, I think we did really well. I think we looked at maybe 3 hints for this one.
Okay.
Did that. This one is definitely more difficult.
Yes, we looked at a lot more hints.
Well, but so like we were going into it prepared because other people have played them and we've heard that how difficult, how so hard this one is, and it's not even full difficulty. I think it's 4 out of 5 difficulty, and so going into it, I was like, oh, is it gonna be hard? Well, I don't think it was as hard as people were making it out to be. I mean, I feel like we were making
maybe not
good.
the difficulty of the logic puzzles, maybe more of figuring out what goes together. And also, I will personally say some things were very hard to see, which would be more of a coloring issue as far as the pictures.
If you have good lighting, like especially in here, we were just playing in
lighting
and living room in our
and part of the problems with a puzzle, you know, so like with the booklet, when you're looking in the exit booklet or whatever, you're able to hold that up to your face and look at it. With a puzzle, you can't do that so much. But then there's also... What?
That's what you have to do to look close.
Oh, no. So then there's also like a glare where it is on the table. So then you have to get at the right angle to see it. That was kind of...
But that's not unique to these.
True.
So...
But I feel like that was much more of an issue in this...
That one, just because it was a darker setting.
I think so.
That's why.
I mean, it's a deserted lighthouse, so the light wasn't on.
Yeah. I'm pretty confident in my recollection that we used about half the hints for this one, which I don't feel bad about, especially considering the difficulty of it.
Yeah.
So these are both, well, this one's 10 and up for ages. This is 12 and up. I don't know why.
But do also know these are not the same. I mean, since they're the puzzles, they expect you to take more time. Like I'm seeing right now 2 to 3 hours on these as compared to trying to complete it in an hour. Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
All right, and now we have an honorable mention.
Oh man, these are so cool. Magic Puzzle Company.
So they have 3 of these right now.
Yes, we've completed 2.
The Mystic Maze, the Unvisited, no, not the Unvisited Isle. What was it called?
The Happy Isles.
Happy Isles.
Yes.
Isles.
I don't know what the third one is.
Some kind of
I haven't
town
even
thing.
seen it.
Yeah.
But this is not an escape puzzle. You're not, and there's no like logic puzzles in this at all. We just liked it because it's a very different kind of jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah. It's magic.
You assemble it, but
well, let's just say you assemble it, and then there's something magical that happens after that.
Okay.
That's as far as we need to go.
If you want to know more,
that's
look
what it
up.
says on here. It says a magic surprise at the end.
Okay.
So, not like you said, not escape room, no logic puzzles, but it's fun and it kind of fits in. If you like escape room puzzles and little quirks like that, then I think you might enjoy it.
Or if you just like puzzling. If you like assembling puzzles.
Yeah, that's just another one. If that's your priority, putting a puzzle together, you would have fun with this one. Also,
it's really cool because they cut these pieces crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's not your standard, like, this little shape here, that hardly ever happens with their shapes. They are nuts. And this particular puzzle, I love the artwork in it. It's very, very good.
Yeah, cool. So that's the Mystic Maze from the Magic Puzzle Company.
Yes.
Now it's time. I think we want to rank these, or at least, see which we like best. So would you like to go first? Or you want me to?
Why don't you start it? Do we want to do 3 to 1?
I'll just talk about mine and you talk about yours.
Oh, okay.
You want to do it that way?
Okay.
Get it all out of the way?
Do it.
Okay, so for me, we won't put Magic Puzzle Company in there just because it's not.
It's not an escape puzzle.
Right. So I think lowest for me is the Ravensburger one. Considering everything, it's a great puzzle to put together, but when it comes to the escape room stuff, it's just a little bit too difficult for me to find everything and put everything. I feel like we had more frustration of what on earth does this little circle in the corner go to, kind of thing. Then I'll go to first, which will automatically give you my second. So my favorite, I love the puzzles more, because I just love exit so much, and it's just an extension of that. Very much that. The way they use the puzzles, it's kind of like the way they use components in their other games, where it's like you wouldn't expect them to use it in this way, but it's very clever. And there are a lot of those moments of, oh, now that's cool.
I think I'm thinking of one in particular.
Yeah. So I love that, and love the brands, the Inca and Marcus brands, the designers of these, and what they're able to accomplish with those brilliant minds of theirs. And just putting those puzzles together and solving those riddles is a blast. What about you?
All right, so I will agree. Ravensburger, I am still going to keep doing Ravensburger escape puzzles.
Yeah.
I still enjoy them. I think they're really cool. And then once you figure out the logic puzzle, it's always man, I could have, okay, now I can complete the puzzle. I totally could have put those two things together. I just didn't. Because my mind is still jumbled from assembling the Jigsaw puzzle. I will put second Exit the Game.
I knew it.
Yes, you did. You knew it. I'm putting Exit the Game second, because simply because my hang up is, I mean, it's part of their thing. You have to throw everything away when you're done. You can't pass this along to somebody else so that they can complete it too. You do have to destroy some things. And it was one thing when it was these little pieces of cardboard and these little pieces of paper, but now it's whole puzzles, which is more stuff, which is slightly more money, right? Higher price point on these.
I believe these are 25 versus like
15, right?
15.
That's my hang up, is the fact that these can't be done again once you're done. You can complete the puzzle again, you can assemble the picture, but why would you want to do that?
But you get more playtime out of it because it's longer. So you get more for your money.
Whereas with my number one, Escape Room the Game, right?
Yeah.
Escape Room the Game.
Never know what to call it.
There's so many words similar between all of the company's products. Okay, Escape Room the Game, that is something you can pass along to somebody else and they can complete it as well, which I just appreciate replayability and being able to share stuff in the hobby. And so that's what I find value in. That's where I put the value, is the fact that this is something I can pass along to somebody else.
Well, I'm all about throwing stuff away. Just look at my career. Yes. But yeah, so I can understand that. I'll give that to you, but it's still nothing that bothers me, because it's still like, okay, this is 3 hours of entertainment that you spent $25 for. Whereas, if you go to a movie on a date for maybe an hour and a half, it's like $50.
I get it, but again, I just don't. When we were comparing an escape room to a tabletop escape room, I'm cool with that. $15 for a box that you're going to end up throwing away compared to $60 for an hour in a room. Of course, obviously, $15 is going to be a little bit better. However, puzzles that you can pass along to other people, that's my thing.
I will give you that the Escape Room, the game puzzle is $19.99. So they're just leaving that there.
I rest my case.
Okay, so that was fun. Thanks for going over these with me.
Hey, no problem. We did all the puzzles together, and so now we did this video together.
So let's wrap things up.
What's something else we could do together? The Married with Board Games podcast.
Oh, I thought you were going there already. Okay.
I am going to take us there right now.
Patreon.com/HeyLightenUp. I've been running a Patreon for over a year now, and we're doing great. We're funding a lot of the projects behind the Lighten Up initiative, but one of the stretch goals is to bring back the Married with Board Games podcast. That's us right here. And so we know we had quite a big audience that a lot of people are like, we want to see it back. Well, here's your chance. We don't need that much more to get to the next level. I think we're at 87 or something, and we need $100 a month. So not per person. Like if you pledge $1 a month, that goes into the total to contribute. So if 13 people pledge $1 a month, we'll be there.
Right.
So please consider that. Consider supporting the Lighten Up initiative on Patreon.
For more of that.
Yes, more of that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We would appreciate that.
You're almost to 2,000 at this point.
At this point, I am 6 away.
This day, at the end of May in 2021, he is almost to 2,000 subscribers. So let's get him across that line.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, don't take the board game hobby too seriously.
Just lighten up.